everyone. Today we are not going to cook, we're not going to work out, but we're going to talk about stress. So stress is something that is kind of abstract. We talk about it every day. I think we overuse it without really paying attention to it personally. We always say we're stressed out or we're too busy or we're not feeling good, but we don't really do anything much about it or really understand what's going on. So stress is something that's not one-dimensional. There are many different kinds of stresses and they all accumulate. And if you just imagine like an empty glass or an empty bucket, that's how we kind of start out, probably when we're kids. And slowly as we get more responsibilities, as time goes on, we get more stress. We get a job, we're in school, we've got exams, we've got all these different kinds of things in the world and they all accumulate. And when we start feeling we're stressed, depending on our tolerability of it, we tend to be full, the bucket's full. And that's when we snap, we get mood swings, we feel cravings, maybe even burnt out. That's the extreme spot, is when we're completely burnt out. We can sleep as much as we want to and it's never gonna do us any good. And that's a bad place to be. And how you get to that place is by denying it, being a little bit deluded in terms of the signs, knowing the symptoms of being stressed and how to address it. So a lot of us go through life stressed out and we don't do anything about it because we don't know where to start and we just think it's part of the job or the way it's supposed to be, and it's not. So what are the different kinds of stress? So we have chemical stress, we have psychological stress, we have emotional stress, and we have physical stress. So we can kind of extrapolate those four things to mean a lot of different things, but those are the main sources of stress. So what do we do about it? So chemical stress, what is that? That's probably the one that most of us don't even think about. Chemical stress is digestive stress. It's stress that happens within the body. So when we eat processed foods, when we eat things that we're intolerant of, maybe we've got a dairy intolerance or maybe we've got a wheat intolerance. If we don't know these things and we don't know the signs of being intolerant of it, we are constantly putting things into our body that our body does not like. It doesn't know how to digest, and we're causing inflammation in the body, within the bowel, within all of the tissues of the body, and we're retaining water, and it's a stress on the body. So we've got that chemical stress. Then we've got emotional stress. So emotional stress, whether I wake up and I'm depressed, or maybe I've got some resentment from my past that I haven't dealt with, or maybe I'm just constantly being abused at work. My boss is just, he's just not a nice guy, and maybe he's poking and prodding at me and causing a reaction, and I'm not dealing with it. Emotional could be in a relationship. Maybe someone's leading me on, or maybe I'm not sure if I want to commit, or there's a million things or different scenarios that we can talk about. But emotional stress is something that definitely accumulates. And when we have a life that is predictable, we have very healthy relationships with others, and when we speak our mind and our opinions, especially in a work situation, if you've got a boss that's just driving you crazy, you got to speak up about it. You've got to be comfortable with some confrontation, and that's something that I see a lot, is people are constantly stressed because they feel like they're unable to express themselves, or they think that their opinions aren't valid. And I'm here to tell you, I don't care how small something is, if it's bugging you, you gotta say something about it. It's only gonna accumulate. The third stress is psychological stress. So this kind of ties into the emotional side of things, but psychological can mean financial stress. It could mean stuff that's not emotional, but are things that are wearing on us. It's decision-making stress. It's not knowing what to eat for dinner. It's always having the stress of maybe, my animal's sick, or I'm not really sure what to do with the rest of my life. Or it could be the past. Maybe you haven't dealt with something that happened and you're kind of harboring it and you're keeping it with you. Psychological stress, one of the best ways to deal with that is by facing whatever it is that's in you. And I think a good place to start is just to journal. You can journal about something, just whatever comes out of your mind, writing it down, and by the time you're done you can end up with 10 pages, and it might take you 2 weeks to actually do it. But that's a great way to deal with some psychological stress. And the last stress I talked about was physical stress. So physical stress is literally physical stress. So one of the biggest physical stresses that we can do to our body is to work out. And a lot of us think, you know, that's a great way to relieve energy. It's a great way to make me feel better. I feel an endorphin rush when I, you know, run and I work out. But sometimes it's not appropriate. So being able to find out, you know, if our internal bucket of stress, if we're boiling over and then we go have a workout, we're putting more stress, more physical stress on the body. So my suggestion is, for this entire video, I want to wrap it up because I know I don't want to bore you, but basically the stress adds up. There's many different kinds of stress. You want to have a handle on all of it. So chemical stress, eat foods that are good for you, start paying attention to your body. If you feel bloated or you feel inflamed or tired constantly, then there's something going on in your diet you need to clean up, absolutely. Emotional stress, have healthy relationships. If you don't know how to have a healthy relationship, go and find a book on it, read up on it. It's important. Having a toxic relationship in your life is only going to drain you and cause more problems than good. Psychological stress, journal, go to meditation, go to yoga, figure out your life. We all have issues, doesn't matter what, but figure out what those things are and start investigating and being self-reflective. The last one, physical stress. You know, sometimes it's not a good idea to go and have a huge workout and start putting up some personal bests in a squat, you know? It's only gonna make you worse. Go to yoga, you know, tell your trainer when you walk in, you know what, I'm not feeling good, I wanna do some more mobility stuff, I wanna do some core work. The trainer, if you got a good trainer, will know exactly what to do with you, and it's going to give you better gains in the end anyways. So that's my little excerpt on stress. It's a real thing. Don't deny it. Face it. Deal with it. We're going to be way more productive as a society, way more better as a human being when we address these things, and then we can move on and be the best people we can be. So have a great day, guys, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.